Hello. This is my Escort.
So, when did you buy it?
I think we bought it last summer.
Right.
Was it the start of summer? Was it the end of the summer, darling?
Yes, in the middle.
In the middle? Yeah. In the middle. And we bought it down in Devon from a chap called Stuart Turner.
Yeah.
Was that his name? Stuart Turner?
Exactly. Who's got the auto tuning lab?
He's a tuning lab.
Tuning lab.
Stickers here somewhere. A tuning lab. And he had advertised it on eBay. He's a monkey, that wee bugger.
Yeah.
Milo, come here.
That's enough.
Come here.
Oh my God.
Milo, you are a destructive monkey.
Then what did we decide to do the following day?
No, the same day. So we picked it up in the morning and we spoke to Ali from MJ Racing and said, "Say, we picked up that car. He gave us some questions to ask the guy when we were down there, and everyone seemed pretty legit. Ali seemed pretty happy, and he was it Ford Live or Ford Fest or something at Silverstone, and he suggested that we should stop in at Silverstone on the way up the road, and that's what we did. So, and then the next day, Ali had managed to get us a pass to get on the track. So we had never driven the car. The first I drove the car was into the trailer, and then when we got to Silverstone, drove it out the trailer, and then drove it right round. We actually drove it right round onto the grid. We managed to bullshit right the way onto the grid, remember? And then a scrutineer guy or a marshal guy came up to us and went, "Where's your helmets?" We went, yeah, right enough, we need helmets. But that was a good day. We managed to do 2 laps.
Yes.
And then an oil pipe, Jubilee clip holding an oil pipe fell out. And fortunately we managed to cut the engine before it ran out of oil. We got picked up on a recovery motor, took back to the grid. Right.
Okay, cut.
Cut.
Donc, on va commencer avec des carottes, avec de l'oignon, et ensuite on va rajouter de l'ail. On va mélanger tout ça. On va rajouter du vin qu'on va réduire, du vin blanc et un peu de vin rouge.
Okay.
So
Norbert, we're really chuffed to have you as part of the team. You specialise in mechanical, electrical, fabrications. Tell me, how would you describe the current condition of the car?
Auto wygląda dobrze, ale jestem zaskoczony, że jeszcze trzyma się kupy. Tak, między nami to kawał złomu.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you, Norbert. Do you think it's going to be realistic to get the car into racing condition for the start of the season?
No, powiem szczerze, będziemy bardzo zadowoleni, jeśli ten samochód będzie w stanie wytrzymać do rajdu. Myślę, że to jest pełen niespodzianek, jak na dzień dzisiejszy.
Well, I appreciate the confidence you have in us, Norbert, and those very kind words. Thank you.
My history in motorsport is I worked for a private company, Pro Motorsport in West Mahago. Derek Palmer, they're looked after his Nissan Primera, and we've done the Monte Carlo rally as well with him as a support vehicle. So I was basically spanner man while the cars were racing, keeping them up to date and anything they needed doing.
And what series did the Primera compete in?
It was the British Super Touros. That was a few years ago in 1990s. There was an evolution of road cars which were turned into touring cars, where we raced the Primera, which won it in 1998. So we were looking after that car and racing it privately as a support races for the BTCC, etc. and the Silverstone Classic. We won that as well. We went to, the speed record was in America. We flew out to LA picked up a car and drove all the way to Bonneville Salt Flats to try and attempt a land speed record of wheel driven, chain driven, 1000cc speed record of 350 miles an hour. We weren't successful, but we tried. It was brilliant. I was quite young at the time, I was only 22, so getting the chance to go to America with some sponsors and things like that was great. I've done a few kart races in my younger days, but I'm now getting back into it, so hopefully we can get some karting on the channel as well and keep you up to date with how we're going with that in the new year. It'll be senior max to the 177 class, which is for the slightly heavier drivers. Right, Josh, it's great to have you as a member of the team. So I'm just wondering, with the deadline of March, what can you bring to the table in getting this car ready?
Well, I can do flips, man, that's it.
We have on March to get the car ready for racing. We have got a small oil leak to deal with. I think it's coming through the rocker cover, so we'll replace that. A few occasions the starter's sticking on in the car, but it just needs a clean out or to replace the fuel unit. Is yet to be determined. The thrust bearing, which will require taking the gearbox out to replace, was noisy, so we'll replace that. We have a damaged water pipe to replace next to the turbo. Just a general tidy up, bodywork, stuff like that before we add any additional parts.
Alright mate, so that's going to get it back to
I'll get it back to
100%.
100%.
Okay, and we're also going to make a couple of upgrades, and we're going to...
Aye, we're going to go for a bigger brake disc on the back and replace the front rotors with these new ones here. So they are from Comp Brake, and we've got...
What size are they, Andy?
They are 335mm, and we have brand new pads to go with them from Hawk Performance.
So tell me a wee bit about these brake discs, because they look a wee bit different than a normal brake disc you'd put on a...
Well, they have grooves cut in them, and that's for a cooling purpose, so that the air can then get into your pad and cool the pad down, stop fluid boiling, which we're also going to replace for a racing brake fluid, as we were getting brake fade that not killed the last time we were there. In addition to that, we've got brake bias indicators. One is a clicker to show how many clicks and adjustments we've made, and this one will be a percentage. So you've got your front percentage on the top, your rear percentage on the bottom, and we have two solenoids with this kit, which are going to replace what's already there and give us a better inclination of what percentage front and back we're running to suit the driver or weather conditions.
This looks like it's maybe in two pieces.
Yeah, we've got a bell that goes on here, so we can interchange the discs to whether we want grooved, drilled and grooved, or just a standard discs. These ones are just grooved with a large vent, which is also directional. Well, sometimes you get a floating disc, so the bell allows you to add in a floating factor so that the disc can run through the pads instead of getting pad kick-off. So with the pad, if you've got a slight warp on your disc, the float can allow to make up for that, so you're not going for your brake and it's not there. So we need to get the car up in jacks, remove the wheels, remove the calipers, and then we'll split the original bell off the discs and replace them with these ones. Bolt it back together with some new pads and some new fluid. Hopefully we should see an improvement.